Okay, Maria back with another video. I'm just going to make a quick one really quick. And I think this is going to probably be the only video that I'm going to make for the rest, well, the last video I'm going to make for the rest of the day, because I think I've pretty much covered everything. But, one thing I want to do is I want to clear up the misconception. I know a lot of people think, well, gosh, don't you give any consideration to the people that you're just throwing their names out in the public, and you don't care about exposing, like, people like your family or your so-called friends or anything. It's not that, I do believe in keeping things private and trying to resolve issues, in the most responsible way possible, okay? I truly do, okay? But this has been going on for a very long time. And do keep in mind that no one gave any consideration to my privacy. They didn't give any consideration to my needs of my reputation. I mean, people just made up stuff, threw it out in the public, and they were very quick to act on it. And has put me in a very compromising position. That creates a lot of anxiety and nervousness, and it literally, I want you to really do some investigating on the lives of targeted individuals and what happens to them. And so that's the only way that you can understand how severe this program is, okay? I talked about post-traumatic stress disorder. I talked about depression. I talked about nervousness. I talked about how some targeted individuals ended up dead. I've talked about some of them who commit suicide. I've talked about some of them who go postal. I've talked about the issues that surround targeted individuals, and these people have put me in a very, very bad position. Many times I think targeted individuals are victims because, of course, their family and their friends are doing things that along with employers who are breaking the law, whether that be through arrogance or ignorance mostly, and this sort of thing. And that's what I'm trying to shed light on. I have given everyone an adequate time to resolve the issue. I tried to get explanations from everybody, but no one said anything, okay? This went on a very long time, and people took it upon themselves to make life decisions for me that now look where I'm at, if my family didn't like Piggy for whatever reason, if they didn't like him for that reason, they wouldn't have liked him anyway, okay? Because if I've been abused this long, they wouldn't have liked him anyway. It's about control, really. But I do understand if they didn't like him for that reason. Although, you know what, I do think he's a good person deep down inside. I just don't agree with what he's done. But and I will never let anybody disrespect him. That's not to say that I just believe that I should have that sort of respect for him, okay? Because that's just how I am. However, that was something that if they really cared about me, they would have brought that to my attention, and they would have confronted me head on instead of working behind the scenes, talking about it, generating, intrigue, interest, and then the rumors start to fly. That becomes a problem, okay? And so there was no real caring on that part. So for me to throw names out, you have to understand that what else is a person to do? My back is against the wall, okay? These people are literally trying to murder me off, okay? So now it's not just a family issue. It becomes an issue of I'm going to deal with perpetrators for the rest of my life, okay? So that means that my life is going to be in danger forever. So that's my issue, okay? So, I need people to understand that because, I can't be in a relationship with somebody who's incestuous. I just can't. I just can't do that. And like I said, it's working out fine for now, but what about tomorrow, And I can't be in a community that basically thinks that something's wrong with me and treats me like something's wrong with me when that's not even the case. I deserve to have a regular job, the job that I want. I deserve to make a decent living. I don't need people manipulating my employment and putting me in a very bad situation, okay? So it's these things that has created problems, people taking the liberties to do things, people violating my rights, people assuming that I don't have rights, people trying to force me into situations that are not conducive to my well-being. So I have every right to throw out those names, okay? I do. And that goes for employers who participated in this, okay? Like I said, this is a very life-threatening situation to be in. So I don't want people to think that I'm arrogant. Like I told you, from the very beginning, when I left the farmer's place, I did everything I could to keep everything confidential. That goes right down from the farmer's name to the town that this actually occurred in. I did everything right, okay? I followed everything to the T. And everybody just used that, they took advantage of the fact that I was taking the necessary steps to protect myself, and in fact, I was protecting them as well. So they took advantage of that. So, you know, it's not that I have done nothing wrong, okay? So I don't want people to think, well, she's arrogant. Look what she's doing. No, 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 no. These people, look what they've done to me. And then they've aligned themselves with certain lawyers to where I could not find any sort of compensation for what I rightfully deserved. Like I said, when I was in Lancaster, I contacted a particular employment lawyer who was in affiliation with my family. I was actually not treated with any sort of professionalism or taken seriously, okay? So they had something fixed, and they did some things to me that really put me in an awkward position, okay? I don't care what these people thought. Now, they probably thought, well, Maria doesn't, you know, with all the money she makes, she should be having X, Y, Z. Number one, none of their business. Number two, I was paying on every single bill that I had while I was living in the Antelope Valley. They created the mobbing situation, so I ended up having to quit my job because the stress was too overwhelming. I mean, I would get up on Sundays, I would literally burst into tears because I did not want to go to work, okay? This is the kind of stress that these people have been putting on me for years, okay, for years. So I have done everything I could. I followed everything to the book, and all I was taken advantage of. So therefore, you know, the idea that Maria is doing something inappropriate, the idea that Maria is offensive, the idea that Maria did something wrong, that needs to be scratched right now, okay? The only thing I did was lie about my race many years ago. So what? Okay? The very fact that I kept my intelligence to myself, why would anybody throw that out there, okay? There's no reason to do that. People hate it when you're in a catch-22. Like, for example, people always talk about how they hate people who sit there on Facebook and brag about stuff, okay? They hate that kind of stuff. But then when you try to keep something to yourself, then they don't like that either. So you know what? There was no winning in that situation either. I was being socially responsible. So there is nothing that anybody can say about me. I think a lot of people took the whole religious thing way out of context. And also, you're not supposed to use that as a form of, when it comes to employment either. So, and anyway, I believe that I have the proper view on that viewpoint anyway, because, like I said, I'm the one who's referencing Scripture. I'm the one who's following the laws of what was written in these religious texts, as well as what the laws that are set forth in the for the laws that relate to this country. So. Yeah, when you're in a situation where you can easily defend yourself, or somebody, like, for example, if you watch TV shows like Jeopardy, okay, and this big brain person comes on and he's constantly right. You might be a fan of his for a while, and after a while, this person starts to become obnoxious because they're winning each and every game. Believe me, I don't want to play this game. All I ever wanted to do was be able to make a decent living and live in a little house or a little place with my son and make sure that I could provide for my son. My son's long grown out of the house, okay? Now I have to worry about taking care of myself, okay? And then these people have this weird idea that, you know, I'm assuming that they want me to go get married to somebody. I don't want that, okay? Everybody in my life is a perp. I'm trying to flush as many weird people out of my life right now. I need to get away, and I'm terrified now. I'm absolutely terrified. I'm absolutely terrified for tomorrow. You know what I mean? I can't stop worrying about tomorrow because I can't trust these people to follow the most basic order, you know? And then I look at these people that I used to know, and I just think, what the hell is wrong with these people? These people are nothing more to me than goddamn murderers. You know, if they're hearing me in my house, and they know that I'm losing everything, and they're sitting here letting this shit happen, and then constantly giving me jobs that I have no interest in, no, I don't want, I don't need, whatever, all of this is wrong, you know? It's wrong from the very get-go. So there's a lot of nervousness in me because this is something that's extremely unusual and usually has a very negative effect on a person, okay? So I've had enough of people, you know, calling me in for job interviews. I'm tired of the harassment. I didn't do anything, okay? If anybody deserves to be harassed, you know, it should be them. So my question is, why is it that people who do things that are wrong get far more respect than people who do things that are right? Because we live in a corrupt world, okay? And that's just the way it is, okay? So I'm not interested in playing those games. I myself would never put somebody in this situation. I really wouldn't. So anyway, I think that should be it. I am planning on maybe venturing out a little bit. Maybe I know I want to participate in some activities. I need to look up some things, and maybe I could get, slowly but surely try to get a social life. I know there's some professional clubs in the other towns and cities, and maybe some group activities that I need to get into, like maybe some field trips or something that I could join up and sign up for, because my weekends are really boring. I don't know anyone in town, and I've decided not to mingle with anybody here in town, because for my own safety and my own protection. So because it's based on what happened here, it's just I'm done. I'm done with the town, and I need to start venturing out and finding other places to meet other people. So this has really changed my life a lot, and so that's what I want people to understand. Okay, I want people to understand that this is. I never deserved this, okay? So before people start getting hot-headed, they need to understand that I have every right to feel the way that I do, and that it's justified. Sorry that I filmed this on my bed, but it was like I didn't really want to be in this video, and I just figured, I'll just get a little change of scenery. So yeah, I like stuffed animals. I'm gonna wrap this video up, and I will be back with another one, maybe tomorrow, or maybe this early in the morning tomorrow, whatever, but when I feel like talking. But tonight I'm going to come home, and I'm going to look for work, and just do the best I can, plugging away. Take care. Bye-bye.